All right, welcome back everyone to Doubleheader Weekly Picks with Mary Daniels and Keenan Costain. And would you know it, regular season is over. Who made the playoffs? Who's keeping their coaches? Who let their coaches go? And also some changes in the front office. Well, find out here in this episode of Doubleheader Weekly Picks. Who's ready? I'm ready, as they say in SpongeBob.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't have my SpongeBob voice out right now, but it's still 9:57 a.m. as it's recording.
Yep, well, I'm ready for the playoffs. So are 12 other teams, but who's going to be participating in the playoffs? Well, let's see. The Ravens are going to be in it. It's based on that first place symbol right here or ribbon.
Yeah. Well, I'll just I'll just say this. It was pretty much a blowout from the start. So not good for Cleveland at all.
Yeah, well, during that blowout, Derrick Henry, well, was King Henry again. Buck 30 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson in the first quarter after 4,000 yards and run for 900. And he had 270 yards and 2 touchdown passes and 60 yards rushing. And by again that first place ribbon, Ravens are kings of the AFC North. You know what time it is, folks. Rusty Crab. There you go. And also, a big guy was able to make an interception too, though he didn't take it back to the house because even the commentators were having a laugh out of it. By the way, hey Ravens, you get to host a home playoff game. You will have to do without Zay Flowers. He injured his knee in the game. By the way, good win better nonetheless. As for the Browns, yeah, this season is over. You're gonna be a long off season, and got a head start because guess who's not gonna be coming back? Mr. Ken Dorsey.
And Dorsey not coming back to the team, and as expected, something had to change after this dreadful season.
That's on offense, as their offenses couldn't get it going. And as a result, Ken Dorsey, you are
You're fired! You're fired! You're fired! You're fired!
Mr. Grads and Benson.
Man, what a nice surprise getting from Mr. Krabs and Benson from regular show. Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob, Benson from regular show. Nobody knew those references, but what a nice touch.
Yeah, well, Mr. Dorsey heard it from Mr. Grads and Benson because the offense and producing. He will not be returning to Cleveland next in 2025.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, though, something gotta change. Uh, Let me ask you this: uh, on the defensive side, will Miles Garrett be a Cleveland Brown next year?
I hope so. I mean, he balled out this year despite the Browns' record.
Well, I'm gonna say no right now. And here's why. I think his time in Cleveland is coming to an end because he just needs to go to a contender eventually. And I don't know. Just hear me out. I've been thinking about this as a Carolina Panthers fan. I would not mind having Miles Garrett in Carolina.
Oh wow. Oh, okay. Could help out our defense or their defense.
But yeah, I just think he needs to go to a uh, a growing contender, or at least a playoff contender. And Carolina could fit that bill. Buffalo could fit that bill. Philadelphia could fit that bill because Buffalo and Philadelphia, for that matter, they need help on the defense. They have the offense, which we'll get to in a minute. So that's just my thought.
Well, Philadelphia's defense has improved. Bill's defense, I will say, decent. And been speaking of the Browns defense, also Rodney McLeod. Sorry I had to end this way because I know that past Saturday was your last game in the NFL, but great career, got a Super Bowl out of it with the Eagles, and made some plays this year as a Brown early on, especially early in the season.
He certainly did, and I saw the news that he was going to hang up his cleats and helmet. Um, Congratulations on a good year, on a great career, sir.
Definitely, and Rodney, which is the best on your endeavors outside the NFL, but great career, sir.
Back to the offensive fast, I definitely need some work. Um, Aaron- uh, what's his name? Deshaun Watson, definitely going to come back next season. That's a must. That's going to be on top of the list if Deshaun Watson can stay healthy.
Well, unfortunately, the Browns are gonna have to write out that contract unless they say otherwise. But we're seeing the ripple effects of that. It's just injuries and all the fan backlash.
And backlash, contract distribution, and it's like I said, it's going to be top of the list. Can he stay healthy? Can he stay focused to lock in with this contract? Uh, we shall see.
We shall see. But either way, Baltimore, you're gonna be hosting a playoff game. Browns, you'll be watching from home. But what about your neighbors in Cincinnati? What's their fate? And also your neighbors in Pittsburgh. Well, let's see. Well, Bengals, you got to win to stay alive, and sure enough, you did. Thanks to Joe Burrow putting up another MVP numbers, three touchdown passes, and gives him 4,918 yards and 40 touchdowns on the season, which leads the NFL. Jamar Chase, he got 10 catches with 96 yards in his score, and Hendrickson had 3.5 sacks. Oh, by the way, Jamar Chase, triple crown leader in receivers, and Trey Hendrickson leads the NFL in sacks. So, hey, you got the passing leader, triple crown leader, and the guy leading the NFL in sacks, Bengals. But that's pretty good if I say so myself.
That is really good. Bengals, I've been showing up and getting the job done in clutch situations. And I'm going to talk about the Steelers real quick. They've lost four in a row now, correct?
Yeah, not the way they want to go into the playoffs.
No. And they have a spot locked up good, but if they want to compete, they got to start winning again. They got to start being like the start of the second half, Pittsburgh, not the last quarter.
Oh no, the people can't wait to get out their Mike Tomlin punching bags.
Oh, it's hard to believe that Mike Tomlin's been the coach for 18 seasons now, and yet, despite the fact that he's still the head coach, and also despite the fact that the team lost four straight games, and yet he's one of the best coaches out there. I think.
Oh, oh, he's one of the best, but the way people talk about him, it's just he's kind of like Mike McCarthy or the Doc Rivers of the NFL. It's like don't win enough championships. Yeah, we'll treat you like a human punching bag.
That's a great comparison actually with Doc Rivers with the NBA and Mike Tomlin with the NFL because Mike Tomlin has only one is it one Super Bowl or two? One.
One, amazingly, they won all their championships within a 3 year span.
Hmm. Well, if you think back, I believe it was the Arizona Super Bowl that Mike Tomlin got.
Yep.
Dang, that was 2008. So
Hmm.
17, almost 17 years ago.
Yeah, and it came a few months after Doc won his only NBA championship, and then 2 years before McCarthy won his own Super Bowl at the expense of Tomlin Steelers.
Well, that'd be funny if Doc Rivers can win the championship with I think Milwaukee. Yeah, and and who knows? Maybe Mike Tomlin can win a championship in the same category, same year. So sensing a pattern. If all the for all your conspiracy theory fans out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be. I would love to see him win it because I'm just tired of me to just make just. Uh, it's just frustrating how they can. But anyway, as for the Bengals, you did what you had to do. You won, so you know what that means. Well, for the Steelers, it's going to be
Oh, you stink!
Well,
Bengals. Yeah,
I,
sorry.
you're fine. I mean, they they kept it close. They didn't get blown out, but I guess the boo you think probably goes to the losing streak.
Yeah, that's what. Yep.
Yep, go ahead.
As for the Bengals, you're cheering now, but we remember we need some help to get into the playoffs. So for all you players who are leading the league in sacks, touchdown passes, passing yards, and triple crown, will you be in the tournament to solidify it? Well, let's see how the next day played out. Well, first we get this meaningless game in Indianapolis. Well, Colts in here in a good streak on a high note, I should say.
I mean, what a what a crazy finish to this game. That's for sure. Winning in overtime. I mean, still finished 8-9 despite all the struggles throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Jonathan Taylor. I mean, solidifies Pro Bowl selection with 130. Excuse me, 117 yards and 34 carries in his score. Matt Gay kicked the game-winning field goal, and the Colts defense, well, made a meaningful stop. So, having said all that, Colts fans, you get a and good effort by the Jaguars, but unfortunately for you and the Colts defensive coordinator was your coach at once upon a time. You were hearing this from our old friend Mr. Krabs.
Oh, you stink!
Well, fired, but
Oh, you stink!
Yeah.
either way, yeah, they will not be returning to the Colts and Jaguars in 2025.
Right. Well, that was an old friend, fish number 165. So,
Yeah, just against Gus Bradley, the Colts defense gave up too many yards, couldn't put teams away. And Doug Peterson, well, that 2022 season, and that became a distant memory just like that.
yeah. So when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, too. Oh, yeah, mainly Jacksonville, but Indianapolis was pretty much in it till surprisingly the very end.
Yeah, they've been in it, but where are the playoff appearances? Oh, wait, they're not nowhere to be seen.
You know, it's sad to see because I think they're the more likable. That's Indianapolis.
Yeah, and also surprisingly, their GM's still there, Chris Ballard. Don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, that's odd. I mean, you would think, uh, as you can see on the screen, one of the coaches, I've got to go, but GM, GM definitely needs a wake up call soon.
And I would say the owner as well, Jim Irsay, said we would win a Super Bowl. Taking a page out of someone know from Big D. Well, why we can't even make it past the bottom of the regular season now? Let alone make it to the playoffs, compete for a Super Bowl. And I see more coaches leave Indianapolis than Super Bowls. So what's the deal there, Jim?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, but I have to say it's been what 3 years now, 3 4 years.
4 years since the last time the Colts were participants in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was right in the I was right. I was in the right ballpark for sure. But yeah, it's sad to see. I mean, uh, for me, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, and then more thing for the Jaguars, who basically won this division in that stretch, thanks no part to some dysfunction in the Colts front office. Yeah, it's gonna be you got a long off season ahead of you.
Yeah, we just don't know what the future's gonna be like because a lot of players came and went, and a couple years ago they were competing for a playoff spot, and all of a sudden the tables have turned into a different direction.
Yeah, I mean he paid Trevor Lawrence all that money, and well, he hasn't lived up to that contract, or has he been able to stay on the field? And yeah, and the offense has regressed. You know, you got something in Brian Thomas, and the defense. Yeah, it's not Saxonville.
Well, let me ask you this: does Trevor Lawrence, you know, you know, same? I guess it's the same situation as Deshaun Watson, right? Because of that contract.
Well, I mean, when it comes to his situation, I just say I don't think they're gonna let him go. But I'd say give him one more year, and if it doesn't work out, then I would have to just move on from Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I would have to agree. Um, yeah, I I just don't see good happy days in Jacksonville for a little much for a little while longer. We just don't know what this team's gonna be. The coach, they're looking for a coach. They're looking for line players because I mean they're able to compete this year, but at the same time, I don't know. Kind of a head scratch.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I would agree with that as well. A lot of head scratching going on in Duval County, and even in Indianapolis, because again, they just one not long ago they were a cloud contender and they can't make it past the last regular season. By the way, all season's upon us is upon them in Indians Jacksonville. So let's move on to the next game. To the Texans and the Titans battle of the new Houston, well, current Houston team, or the old Houston team. The Titans play in Houston. Well, new current Houston team, that being the Texans. Well, they needed to win to like go into playoffs with some momentum, and surrounds they did it.
Well, they did what they had to do, and they converted it well. But as for Tennessee, let's just get them out of the way. It's been nothing but disaster.
They'll be hearing from our friends from the Krusty Krab shortly. But before we get to them, Houston, good game from Damian Pierce, 76 yards and a 92-yard score. And Daryl Burnett, 36-yard fumble return for a score. So Houston going to plus with the win, so that deserves A. Okay. Oh yeah. As for the Titans, yeah, your general manager Ron Carthon, well, he is.
You're fired. You're fired.
Yep.
You're fired. You're
Yes.
Yeah, he is fired indeed. And, like I said, didn't look good from the start, man. Kind of looked confusing. Didn't really have Tennessee do much this season, and in our preview episode, which is episode one. But yeah, what can I say? Another team that needs to figure stuff out, and it goes to Jacksonville and previous side as well. Just a couple of head scratchers.
Yeah, and also this is the second time in in 3 seasons that the Titans have let go of a general manager because they let go of their previous one in seasons during the 2022 season. large part because the offense has just since their playoff appearance in 2021 has just regressed.
Yeah, so heading in the wrong direction. You would think, you would think, you know, you would think, you would gain momentum after making a playoff appearance. Not the case here.
Yeah, and also the guy that led him to that playoff appearance, Mike Brable. Yeah, they let him go last season, which yeah, definitely was a big mistake.
Yeah, definitely a big mistake. Now that you bring that up, Amir, it's a good point. Oh man, I like Tennessee. I I'm nothing against them. Don't have any hate for them. They're just they're 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 part of the NFL, as all the other teams are. And I just have no backlash, no hate for Tennessee. I would root for them. I'm rooting for them to get better. I want to see some new teams figure it out as well.
Well, I will say like I said, the offense has to improve, and really since I mean outside maybe the running game, they haven't got much contribution from any other skill players on offense.
Yeah. So so you're saying offense needs some work. I mean,
Mm.
you think they have the cap space to probably sign a big free agent or do a sign and trade with someone?
I mean, they signed, or he was on their team to start the year, but then with the Chiefs, DeAndre Hopkins. They should have some cap space after letting him, after trading him away. It's just can they that say said player can he succeed in that offense? It just hasn't produced the last few seasons.
I remember Hopkins going to Tennessee. I mean, he had some good moments, but didn't put it all together.
More like the team wasn't couldn't put it all together, and you can't really put that on Hopkins. I mean, he's probably the only other offensive skill player that produced for them during their was now 3 year postseason absence.
Yeah, so can't put it all on him. I have to think about that one.
Yeah, just they gotta say quarterback gotta have the stability at that. 'Cause, I mean, Will Levis and Mason Rudolph were see they were one of the starting each week, and it just and I wouldn't give up Mason Rudolph, but Will Levis' time in Nashville, it's starting to
It's
look
coming.
small.
Yeah, but coming to a close, and we'll see. We'll see if he can um if he can have some staff meetings with himself and get better, or if he can find somebody else.
Yeah, I know he's got an endorsement with what's the name of that Mayo company. He's only been in the NFL for 2 seasons, mind you.
Still pretty young. Still pretty young. So I mean, it took all these quarterbacks that struggled the first couple of seasons. So you look at Bryce Young, right? 2 years in the league and got better, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, I mean, the organization right now, I don't know. A lot of head scratchers and a lot of questions more than answers.
Yeah, and plus they got to find a new GM because now before they start spending money in free agency and doing trades, because yeah, they just fired just like their GM.
Mhm. So yeah. So moving on to our next game, Amir. If you, we have the Bills and the Patriots. So perfect timing on that. Um, yeah. Talk about what Patriots got the win over Buffalo in surprising fashion, despite I don't know, surprising fashion because I don't really know what really transpired.
Well, I mean, Bills are locked into their playoff seed, so they have really nothing much to play for. So we'll say, as Bills fans, all your players are going to be healthy for the playoffs. So there's that. You love to go in with the win, but hey, no one's hurt, so you'll take that. As for the Patriots, well, this season didn't work out, but he went out on a high note. So Keyshawn Bodie, 7 catches, buck 17 in a score. In these meaningless games, like rookies and shot players, they throw them in spotlight. And Joe Milton, the third, 22 completion, 241 yards and a score, and 10 rush for 16 yards and another score. So, hey, great day for you, sir. And the Patriot fans, well, yeah, you haven't heard a lot of this of late, which is hard to believe, given that, oh, yeah, it wasn't all that long ago. You guys could just win like 10 games like that. But anyway, yep. And unfortunately, the win was not enough to keep your coach because, well, okay, what? I had a slide for that. Okay, well, anyway, well, if you haven't heard already, Gerard Mayo, after this game concluded, was fired.
Uh, and I'll do the little audio. You're fired. You're fired.
Yep, yeah, he heard it from Benson, Mr. Krabs, and part of the reason why he's not coming back to coach the Patriots in 2025. Well, a few weeks ago, after they lost to the Cardinals in Glendale, Arizona. Well, he was seen playing cards with his players, which is not a good look.
Nope. Nope. And it's not a good look at all. And Rob Gronkowski on the Fox Post game show that said that he was surprised by the schools, and I guess forgot about the situation that happened in Arizona that you punched him here. So I mean, it is surprising that he got fired, but at the same time, we gotta think back to what transpired throughout the season. But I mean, like you said, not too long ago, this team was on top of the world, winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl with Mr. Tom Brady, who was with Fox. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna scratch my head once again and be concerned about.
Yeah, and getting back to the yeah, yeah, or Rob Mayo rather. I was at first shocked. I'm like, well, you guys weren't expected to do much this year, at least from media pundits. And it's like first year in the job, we already let him go, and even a lot of the analysts were surprised by that. But then a few days later, I go online, and one of the first things I see is that I mentioned Arizona. He was playing cards with his players. I'm like, well, now I know why he didn't get retained.
Yeah, and you would think that Rob Gronkowski would know that, and I think when he was making his statement, they briefly went to commercial where uh, the lead host, I can't remember his name at the moment, the host said, "Okay, we're going to commercial now," and then Rob Gronkowski was kind of like, "Huh? What?"
Kurt Menefee.
Kurt Menefee, yep, on NFL on Fox. So thank you for that. I had a little bit of a moment. I knew what his name was. I just couldn't pick it out. So, um, yeah. But so Rob was pretty much confused about the whole ordeal, about his explanation on live television. So, yeah, definitely concerning and a little awkward time.
Yeah, to say the Patriots the last few years are far apart from the ones we saw during our time during their dynasty run.
Basically, from I'm gonna say 2002 to 2019, they had that magnificent run of winning that season after season, Super Bowl after Super Bowl, and it's like all of a sudden, we don't know what this is like. We don't know what losing is like.
No, we haven't experienced that in a long time in Foxborough until well, last 2 seasons, and yeah, as for Buffalo, again going to the playoffs. We'll see how things play out for you guys. But moving on from that AC matchup to this one, as I know it's fighting for a playoff spot, that being the Dolphins. But I don't see a lot of Dolphins in this presentation, aside from Mr. Mike McDaniel, who has a very grim look on his face.
Yeah. Talk about another upset alert. Jets. Aaron Rodgers playing like old Aaron Rodgers. And let me ask it. Let me just say this. Where was this throughout the season, Aaron?
Yeah, and the Jets in general. Yeah, we were expecting to see this throughout the season, not I don't know the same old Jets or just end the season, just endure the suffering, or as Joe Beningo says, you can change the quarterback, coach, stadium, facility, players, and yada yada yada, but you can't change results. Oh, well, having said all that, well, Mr. Rogers, you joined the 500 club through 500 touchdown pass, so that's good. And then four on the day, or night rather, so that does a round of applause. And oh yeah, East Weatherford became Green Bay for one day too, because I saw a lot of ex-Packers in the end zone. Devontae Adams had a touchdown, and Alan Lazard. And oh yeah, it's nice sight of two former Green Bay Packers walking off the field. Probably for the last time it's teammates because you're staying East Weatherford. Mr. Rogers is up in the air, and it's been a tumultuous one, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, that was my next point. Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old. Uh, we don't even know what's gonna happen. And here's what I think. I'm just gonna straight up say it. I think he's going to retire straight up. I don't see him going to another contender. I don't see him going back to New York. I think he goes to retirement, spends time with his family, takes all that money with him, and thinks about all of his accomplishments because uh, you know, 40 years old, even though Tom Brady played until he was 43, I just don't see Aaron Rodgers coming back because his situation. It'll be kind of hard to redefine his career this late in his playing days.
Yeah, I would say unless the Jets bring him back, I don't see him signing with another NFL team or but another team taking interest in him. I've heard he's not the easiest guy to get along with unless say Devontae Adams and Lazard.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like a nice guy in his post game interview uh, with one of the reporters, but um, great quarterback. But it seems like I don't know. Last few years of Aaron Rodgers has been nothing but spoiled, rich, bratty. I hate to say that.
And an injury field as well. And also shout out to Brees Hall as well. He had a big day as well, including scoring the clinching touchdown. But anyway, Gang Green, the season did not live up to expectations. 5-12, by the way, as well. But, a win's a win. Or, yep. As
Yeah,
for
yep.
Miami, well, yeah, it was another cold day. You know what happens when you play in cold weather. You don't win. And as a result, yeah, that playoff streak, as in winless playoff streak, yeah, that's not ending anytime soon because the last time they won a playoff game was back in the year 2000. Yeah, first decade of the new millennium, folks. The last time they won a playoff game. So having said all that, yeah, and you scoreboard watching this game, yeah, it became real apparent that yeah, that this was not a good day to be a Dolphins fan. But hey, good day to be a Broncos fan.
Well, it's a good day for Denver, and as Kansas City, start decided to, what, we're gonna rust up all of our starters, and look how it turned out. 38-0 was the final score of this game, and I would not, I would not, I would not celebrate Kansas City haters because I know there's haters out there. I wouldn't celebrate quite yet because they're they're coming, and I they're coming to make a response somehow, some way. I believe.
Well, Kansas City, your team, no one got hurt. You got the number one seed, and I know it's tough to repeat, but either way, I mean, heck, you're going to playoffs healthy, so there's that. As for Denver, speaking of playoffs, well, I say the defense played up to a championship level. Let's see here: 4 sacks, 5 first downs allowed, 27 yards rushing, 27 yards rushing allowed. That is 71 net yards passing allowed, and 90 total yards allowed. I say that's a championship worthy performance. Don't you?
Most definitely for sure.
Yeah, and as for Bo Nix, 26 with 29 for 321 and 4 touchdown passes. Two going to Marvin Mims, and the other going to Mr. Stephon Villay, who had that magnificent touchdown where it runs off of 3 players and he keyed down with the football. And what do you know? And also love the throwback uniform as well. Broncos Wilkins, they are one of the best ever in NFL history. And so what? So yeah, and also and speaking of Broncos country, hey, look, first time in 2015. Guess where you guys are going?
We're going to the playoff. You talking about playoff? Kidding me?
No, we're not getting you. The Broncos are playoff bound, and you know what that deserves. A long
Big
overdue
hip.
one for playoffs, that is.
Yeah, a long wait overdue, and big hip hooray because it's been since our Super Bowl run the last time they became Super Bowl bound or playoff bound rather.
That's right. Yep. So yeah, Bronco country. Yeah, and you go into the playoffs, and also for the Jets. Well, you felt that the longest playoff drought in the NFL for a while, but it's definitely intact now. And speaking of playoff droughts, yeah, Bengals and Dolphins. No playoffs for you guys.
Yep, and nice cameo from Mr. Billy Madison as well, and they blew it indeed. Had their chance, and like Billy Madison once said, Amir, as you can hit that little button again.
Yeah, they did. They had, especially the Bengals. I mean, heck, think about it. They didn't lose to the Patriots in Week 1. They would be in the playoffs.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
Yeah, yeah, your screen froze up on me, but yeah, Bengals. I know they won their last 5 games, but think about it. They beat the Patriots on opening day. I'd say they'd be in the playoffs.
Yeah. hmm So coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, and Dolphins. Well, it was a regress. He definitely regressed from last year, and didn't help that Tua got injured twice just towards the end of the season. So, his status for this 2025 is uncertain.
Yeah. I was about to say. I mean, I'm glad Tua's back. At the same time, you got to be careful in these situations, despite the concussion he's suffered.
Yeah, and as for the Bengals, again, you had a receiver that had triple crown, quarterback that led the NFL in passing, and defense end that led the NFL in sacks, and no playoffs. And as a result of that, Lou, tomorrow you have been.
You're fired. You're fired.
Yep, you heard it right. gave up way too many points, and as a result, your team is watching playoffs from their TV sets. As for Mr. Tyreek Hill, uh, you want what did you want?
Oh, you stink!
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that, but I want out. He wants out of Miami.
Well, apparently so. I mean, if if you're if you're any of the other teams, I I would I would pick up the phone right now and say, "Rain, rain, yes, hello. We want this guy named Tyreek Hill on our team."
Well, that's if the Dolphins are going to grant his request. And and I will say to Tyreek Hill, I heard it's a family issue, money issue, why he went out in Miami. But that announcement came very surprisingly after, since not long after your game ended, which you were nowhere to be seen.
Well, I would say Miami is an interesting state or interesting city, but because of because of the of the money aspect of things, I would consider it the Sunshine State and a popular state of that. So, I mean, back to the point at hand here. We'll see. We'll see by the week cross. And if it does happen, there's the phone and say, "Rain, rain, yes, hello. We'll try to get. We want this guy on our team."
Yeah, and it's kind of like with Aaron Rodgers, who wants to sign Tyreek Hill. I mean, talented player, but checkered past. He's had some domestic violence issues, or and also got pulled over, and but well, prior to the season opening game in Jacksonville. So it's almost like we want to risk it. I mean, I don't know. But then again, the Dolphins will have the last say in that matter because he's still under contract with them. But moving on from that, let's go into the last game of the for the AFC involved in the AFC rather. Well, LA, what a way to go into the playoffs. Well, blowing out the Raiders.
Yeah. It was definitely not surprising that the Chargers won this game and and pretty convincingly, not super convincingly, but pretty convincingly, of a 34 to 20 victory. Raiders looked pretty solid, to be honest. It didn't look great, but they looked solid.
Yeah, it got to a slow start. The Raiders had a 10-9 lead, but then after Daniel Henley intercepted the pass, the touchdown pass to by DJ Chark. Chargers basically took control of the game as a from there, and well, they're number 5 seed in the AFC playoffs, and also Justin Herbert. Oh yeah, he's gonna be another big day from you as well, and Quentin Johnson. I mean, 11 catches, buck 86. I mean, more could you ask from the Chargers, who again, well, they bounced back from last year. They were 5-12, dysfunction, fired their coach and GM, who we'll get into in a moment. And then here we go, Jim Harbaugh comes in, changes the culture, and now wild bound, and we'll see how far they can take it.
Yeah. I mean, and was it Jim Harbaugh? Uh,
Yeah, Jim.
Jim coming back to the NFL and looking looking pretty good. Good resurgence from him, and 11-6, nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh
They look
no.
really good. They look really good. Uh, no how to score points, but Amir, you hit the nail on the head. Can they put it all together?
Oh yeah. You know what? And Chargers, here you go. Okay. Yep. As as for the Raiders, especially miss the guy looking back there with the what's going on look. Oh, yeah, well, I know what's going on with you and former Chargers GM Tom Telesco, who's not pictured here, is yeah. Well, yeah, Mr. Krabs.
You're fired. You're fired.
Yeah, what they said.
What they said is right, and oh, it's a busy day in the sit down office.
Yeah, because 2 days after the Raiders season ended, they said, yeah, Mr. Pierce, hand in your headset and your programs, game plans. You're no longer head coach of the Raiders, and Tom Telesco. Yep, hand over your draft and GM duties as you're no longer the GM of the Raiders. And funny enough, Tom Telesco was GM of the Chargers last season, and his last game as a Chargers GM came against the Raiders in Vegas. How funny is that?
Yeah, that is funny if you think about it. But going back to the head coach here, um, there's no improvement, no swagger, no nothing. I mean, like I said, head scratcher.
Yeah, and
Wonder,
I know
wonder what the team is
Pierce's
gonna do.
hiring and promotion was was not well received across media pundits and fans and what have you, because I know he had some question marks getting back to his playing days and his career at ASU. And yeah, sadly, the 4-13 season did not silence those critics.
Again, another team I don't really, I don't really hate. I mean, I just want to see some other teams get in the spotlight too. I know it sounds like I broke a record while saying that. I know you feel the same way.
No, and just you're the boy the Raiders. You got a lot you work cut out for you. 'Cause now you don't have a coach, no GM. You don't have really have a quarterback either. Defense outside of Max Crosby is suspect. Offense, man, does anyone really scare you on the Raiders' offense? Nope, because Devontae Adams is no longer there. Boy, this it just seems like they just can't seem to put it all together where they are, whether it's Oakland or Vegas. And oh yeah, they're definitely not getting their money's worth in Vegas so far.
Yeah, it seems kind of scrambled, like scrambled eggs with bacon on top. But oh man, yeah, it's confusing. It's kind of like the New York Jets situation, kind of like the Cleveland Browns situation. Let me ask you this: Does Mason Crosby, does he go to a different
I wouldn't blame him if he wants to, because he's a great player. Fortunately, he's only had one playoff game. He's only participated in one playoff game, which is amazing, only 3 years ago. And yeah, he just hates seeing these guys put up big numbers, but the team doesn't produce.
team? And did I say Mason or Max? Is it Max?
Well, you said Mason, but you meant to say Max with two
Max.
X's, by the way.
Yeah, Max Crosby. My bad, folks. But I I would have to agree. I mean, go to I would say go to a growing uh team right now like Carolina, and or somebody other than Carolina because that's the only team I can think of at the moment. But Super Bowl contender, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Kansas City would be a good one.
Imagine going to the Chiefs, man. It wouldn't. I know Raider fans wouldn't like it. But imagine that happened.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've seen players go to opposing rivals in the NBA, NFL, and look how those players turned out. Sure, I mean, it, it makes that an interesting article.
Yeah, if that ever comes to fruition. Hopefully, in the Raiders fans' case, that doesn't. By the way, speaking of Chiefs and the AFC playoffs, well, here it is. This is the playoff has been set in the AFC. course, Chiefs had a week off. Bills, Ravens, Texans won their divisions. Chargers, Steelers, and Broncos, wild cards, and then all these 19s right there, they're going to be watching it from home on their, I don't know, tablets, phones, computers, TVs, radios, what have you. And here's the playoff bracket. And here we go. Steelers are going to play the Ravens in Baltimore. Broncos play the Bills in Orchard Park. Texans Chargers in Houston. And then Chiefs, as I said before, you get the week off, so you get enjoy it. But come after this dust settled, you back on the field. So, all right, AFC playoff picture has been set.
Hmm. I like it. I like it. I like it indeed. Very, very competitive uh, conference. AFC.
And a conference, but I know a lot of these teams, not excepting that team Arrowhead, have a lot of, I don't know, they want to exercise a lot of demons. And I hope for especially these two teams right here, I hope they exercise some demons and this team as well. But we'll see come this, well, starting tomorrow.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to our preview coming up here shortly. So yeah.
Yep. So that wraps things up for the AFC. Let's see how things turn on the NFC side of things, starting off in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Well, not surprising. Not surprising at all. The score, however, is a little bit of a surprise. 20, 20,
Yeah,
20 to 13 was the final.
yeah, score was surprising, and there's gonna be a lot of surprises involving the team from that being Big Blue. As for the Eagles, yeah, Mr. Dickerson, the record's still intact because the Eagles are the rest Saquon Barkley for the playoffs because the Eagles are locked into number two seed. So having said all that, I hope I say your name correctly. Anais Smith, you had your first since you were backups in the game. Found the end zone for the first time in your NFL career. Thank you, Mr. E.J. Jenkins. So, hey, catch up to you guys. So, having said all that, Philadelphia, singing this tune all season long. Yep. So Eagles, 14 wins on the year, number two seed. As for the Giants, well, what's Joe Shane and Brian Dable have been retained. I have no idea why.
Neither do I. Like I said, head scratcher.
Head scratcher indeed, because yeah, as I said with Jacksonville, that 2022 season has become a distant memory. Same holds true for the Giants, because oh man, what? Let's see here. Yeah, 3 wins. Your quarterback who you gave big money to. Yeah, you let. Well, he requested to be released after some mediocre play. And yeah, Brian, yeah, the coach and GM are still going to be here 2025. And according to the owner, John Mara, well, you better be competing for a playoff spot. Not competing. You better be in the playoffs next year at this time. Otherwise, you won't be back.
Yeah. So retained means going to stay, and they only have one shot, one opportunity, in my opinion. According to
Yeah.
the great Marshall Matters, also known as Eminem.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, like, glad you brought up the Eminem reference. But yeah, get one opportunity. Let's see how y'all make. Let's see how you guys make out. That's all I got to say on that.
Yep, absolutely. So moving right along to our next game here, we got the Commanders and the Cowboys. And the Cowboys made it an interesting, let's say, competitive game to say the least, despite with no Dak Prescott still. And the Cowboys not going to be in the playoff race.
Nope, but yeah, they made it interesting. But the Commanders, who will be in the playoffs, well, they trailed throughout the game. Yeah, they didn't look impressive, but they when chips are on the line, they saved the best for last. As for Mr. Marcus Mariota, well, his stat line was 16 for 19, buck 61, 2 touchdowns. In the game win to Mr. Terry McLaurin with 2 seconds to go. So Washington, as usual, here you go. There we go. And as for Dallas, Deron Bland, the guy who got beat by Mr. McLaurin, I'd say this sums up the season where you guys were all in. But yeah, come playoff time, you will not be there.
Well, they're all in for at least 7 games, and all in for at least 10 of them. So 7-10 is their record to end the season. I think in our preview show, our preview episode, we did have Dallas making it, and it turns out that's not the case. In Washington, I would say they're in the nominees of uh of super or of team comeback team of the season.
Most surprising team.
Yeah, most surprising. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I guess comeback became first more surprising.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get my point.
Oh yeah. And oh yeah, for the Cow, getting that one thing on the Cow, make that 2 things. Well, Mike McCarthy is still going to be the coach. Okay. And then Michael Parsons is already making Super Bowl predictions. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Stephen A. Smith as well. You know how his reactions to that. He's saying, yeah, right.
Right. Well, as of this recording, Mike McCarthy's still going to be the head coach. A lot can still change in the next few months, next 7 months, to be exact.
Yeah, and speaking of changes, Cowboys, you're going to need some help on defense as an I'll address that run defense that couldn't stop anybody just the early part of the season.
So, yeah, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. Dak Prescott being hurt, you know, hopefully soon. Um, I would say Dak Prescott. Uh, this coming season. This is your rock. This is your ride or die situation.
Well, it seems to be a ride or die situation matter every season in Dallas, and unfortunately, we know in the end that that's how that story usually we know how that story ends. Like this, with this reaction right here. Sadly.
Huh. Yeah, that's the reaction of. That kind of reminds me of the Home Alone. The Home Alone. As I hit my headphones. Uh, Kevin putting his face on his feet.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie from start to finish, but good reference though.
Yeah, but um, the only difference is they're not staring him down like it is in the poster cover of that movie. But yeah,
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah,
um,
yeah, poster. Yes, yes.
yeah, but that's a pretty good reaction if you're Dallas. And like, what went wrong? What went wrong?
Once like everything, but a lot of things went wrong in Big D in 2024. But for Washington, what way going to the playoffs? Because while that was going on, because also this is a week we're scoreboard watching. Well, I know this is being televised here in Charlotte on opposite that game, and well, there was scoreboard watching either way from because Atlanta. Yeah, I would say good game for them, but not good enough.
Not good enough indeed. And shout out Michael Penix Jr. For giving us a couple of scares throughout this game. Sure, I was texting one of my my one of my former coworkers that I worked in my internship. He turned out when I met him, he turned out to be an Atlanta Falcons fan, and for me, a Carolina Panthers fan. And I was like, oh boy. And he the first go around, Atlanta got our number. This time we got their number. This time
Oh yeah, I mean, BJ Arms had another big day with Mr. Bryce Young starting to live up to that number one pick status. 5 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 2 rushing. Sounds like Cam Newton.
does sound like Cam Newton. And he's the first Panthers quarterback to ever do that. Not even Cam Newton could uh, contain that stat, which is pretty pretty impressive. I'll give him his flowers and his confetti for that. And throughout who else should get flowers and confetti is the guy on the top of your screen, Miles Sanders, coming back from injury from I think what October November basically, and scoring the game-winning touchdown in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, I know he didn't live up to his contract, but I'd say this: this is indeed his last game in the Panther uniform. He went out on top. I mean, Mr. Sanders.
He did, and I was talking to another friend about this at my other job, and I was saying like, out of all the players, I would would score a game winning touchdown, I would not pick Miles Sanders to be on that list. Near the bottom of that list, if that.
You and me both, because honestly, I forgot Miles Sanders was even on the roster because he didn't do much here in Carolina.
No, he did not. I mean, maybe he just didn't fit the system. Maybe you were just having a rough time somehow, some way. But I mean, we could bring him back. We could release him. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But if I'm the Panthers right now, I would just keep building on that defense and go for the draft. And if we have some cap space, I would probably go out and try to get Garrett Wilson, Jets wide receiver, perhaps, or T Higgins that can cover that tight end position for Adam Thielen.
Well, I would definitely build on the offense, but I'm a Panthers fan. Number one priority is defense because and lost in this win. You gave up the most points in NFL history with 534, which is way too much.
Way too much is right, and I'm gonna way too much right, and I'm gonna go to the Atlanta Falcons side of things, Amir. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. But man, oh man. Well, actually, we haven't went to the Krusty Krab yet.
No, well, at least the Panthers haven't, but they have now. There we go. Mhm.
And I was singing "Sweet Caroline" until my voice gave out for sure at full volume. And boy, it was totally worth it.
Oh yeah, yes it had, yes it was. And as for defense, well, SportsTalkAtlanta.com said it best describing the Falcons defense. It's hard to describe the Falcons defense performance as anything other than embarrassing. And Marcus Mosher, I hope I said your name right. 5 TDs right young today. Raheem Morris' defense had no chance to, chance today. There we go.
It's so good, but just, yeah, it was just hard to stop Bryce Young. I don't think he did not get sacked once. Wait, I think he got sacked maybe like twice, but didn't throw a interception.
No, and I'll say going back to a midseason report where I was not too high on Bryce. Since then, he stepped up his game.
Oh yeah, those definitely. Panthers right now have their franchise quarterback um, for the long term, not the short term, long term, and I am excited. Sure.
I agree. So Bryce, you're here to stay. As for the Falcons, well, you're doing some scoreboard watching. Let's game into overtime because I had to hope that's for a miracle down in Tampa Bay, and let's just say that miracle did not happen.
Yeah. That's that's exactly what we wanted as Carolina Panthers fans to Atlanta have Atlanta not make it. Um, but kept us on our toes. Pretty much every single year as Panthers fans.
Yeah, speaking of being kept on your toes, the Saints had Buccaneer fans on their toes because they were set to get blown out, or as we predicted here, could have gotten the score right, but no, the Saints said that's not going to happen. We're gonna make sure this team earns it. Well, they did, and guess what? Tampa Bay got out to a slow start, but Ains end they were able to pull away and get the late fourth down stop. And oh yeah, Mr. Evans, you cashed in big time by going over 1,000 yards for the 11 straight season, tying with the Hall of Famer Jerry Rice.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. And oh, I think I was only 5 points away from getting the score on the money.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we couldn't get it done in the regular season, but we still have the playoffs, so there's still hope. But getting back
Still
to Tampa
hope.
Bay, 4 years in a row, division champs. It helps us get Bucky Irvin running for 100 yards again, and Baker Mayfield, who should have made the Pro Bowl roster, it still can as an alternate. Well, hey, 2 years in a row, going to the playoffs. So hey, Tampa Bay, oh yeah, you deserve this. Oh yeah, pop the champagne, the Gatorade, the sodas, bust out the division championship hats and T-shirts and everything. As you guys once again playoff bound and champions and the NFC NFC South. There we go. So as Gene Deckhart would say, fire the cannons.
Fire the cannons indeed, and congratulations to them. They deserve it. They followed. They followed. Now I'm doing it. They followed the script. They did what they had to do. Baker Mayfield. What a tremendous regular season. Got it done.
Oh yeah. And as for the Falcons, Mr. Madison, take it away, sir.
You blew it!
Oh yeah.
Yep, they blew it indeed. And if you could read those words and eliminated on that picture there, you're reading that right. It was a nail biter for sure.
Yeah, but you're the Falcons. Think about this. You're 6-4, but the Buccaneers. But unfortunately, after election day, your team went south. Pun intended, by the way.
South, very south, and losing those last two games did not help their cause.
Yeah, and also Mr. Kirk Cousins. Yeah, unfortunately, there was a lot of chance of we don't like that, and yeah, you regress to the Kirk Cousins of why fans in Washington, Minnesota were very skeptical of you, and I don't think you'll be back wearing a Falcons uniform in 2025.
Hmm, hard to say, but hey, Michael Penix Jr. You know, it may be the guy, pretty young. The Atlanta Falcons front office uh, might have made the right move on drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, they got something in Penix for sure, and B. John Robinson, excuse me. Yeah, he's a keeper as well, and so is Drake London, who had over 100, a buck 70 in through the air. Amazing enough, all there were three players they mentioned this 25 years younger with 300 yards passing and 170 plus yards rushing in receiving, albeit in a losing effort by the Falcons. I might should have had to get that in. But yeah, Falcons looking good offensively. Defensively, they need, like the Panthers, has to be the number one priority going into the offseason.
Yeah, most definitely for sure. So, yeah, unfortunately, Falcons not good enough.
Yeah, I would agree. So the NFC South is all locked up. So moving on to the rest of the early games in NFC. Green Bay, not the way you want to go into the playoffs.
You know, pretty much the same song, second verse. Because Bears this time, the Bears at 5-12 now, same record as Carolina, was
Mhm.
able to get back into the win column. Uh,
Yeah, first time since their win in London. And also, speaking of first time, first time they beat the Packers in Lambeau since Thanksgiving Day 2015, and the first one overall since um, 2018. So, what a way to go out on top. Chicago beat your most hated rival, and that's not an understatement. That is fact. As for Thomas Brown, with I know you're not going to be the Bears full time coach, but got to win. And Carlos Santos, you bounced back from that block field against Packers early in the year. I like said that right. Let me go through my notes real quick. Where are you? Where is it? Yeah, Carlos Santos. Yeah, okay, yeah. Bears kicker. I mean, yeah, his field goal blocked against Green Bay earlier in the year, or the first meeting rather. The way to bounce back for you, sir. As for Green Bay, Matt LaFleur, your clock management skills guy came under fire. Kicked the field goal with 50 seconds to go, with too much time for the Bears, and also Packers are going to be without Christian Watson for the playoffs. So he injured his knee in this contest.
that's tough to see. Sure. Um, so, yeah. Um, if you're Green Bay, not the way that you were hoping for, but still in the playoffs. 11-6 isn't the worst thing in the entire universe, but could have been a lot better.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. But either way, Bears, finding that losing streak, three losing streak sacks all at once. Green Bay, well, you're in the playoffs, but yeah, momentum not on your side.
But yeah, maybe. But yeah, not on your side. But I mean, give the Bears their flowers because it's been nothing but misery, pain, suffering, throughout the season. And think about that Washington game that transpired as well.
Yeah, that Washington game really just broke the spirits of that team. But
But
it's been a while since you had this, so Bears, here you go. So, yep, moving on from Lambeau to late afternoon games. We were starting Glendale, where not it's just playing for pride, and Arizona. Well, what a way to go out.
yeah, but what a way to go out because you had nothing to lose. And speaking of nothing to lose, 49ers, man, I would just say this right now. What a what a turnaround. You're going the wrong way on the road here. Get back on the right side of the road.
Yeah, the Super Bowl hangover was alive and well in Santa Clara, and yeah, 49ers. This what it's how do I put it? Burn the film. Don't even watch the film on this. Just burn it. Burn it.
Yep, you're gonna take this shirt home. and you're gonna burn it, quoting the great Kevin Garnett. But um, yeah, just burn this season, honestly, because they've, like I said, going in the wrong direction pretty fast. And I had them making the Super Bowl, and boy, I'm gonna say this right now, my prediction was way off.
Yeah, fortunately it was, but before you get before you but we'll touch more on the Niners in this moment. But for the Cardinals, Michael Carter and Mr. Tony Jones, hey, made most of you guys' opportunity, found the end zone, and Mr. Carter loved the LeBron James shout out there. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Arizona, I mean, nothing nothing to be ashamed of. But you guys were in the hunt for that first place spot pretty much the second half of the season. But a certain team in Carolina, took care of business.
Yeah, they did. But and as for Mr. Murray, best I say one of his better games during that second half of the season, 4 touchdown passes. I don't think hopefully this is not your last game with the Cardinals, but if it is, he went out with a bang. Because again, went on a winner and 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah, because the outro score 47 to 24. And now I understand why they said burn the film, burn the film, burn the film. And man, uh, Kyle Murray, I hope you stay because I think they can build off of this.
Yep, and Mr. Coach um, Bill Gannon, I know he'll be staying with Arizona. Having said all that,
Boo! You stink!
oops, wrong auto file. Cardinals. Here you go. Yep. Yeah, sorry, I hit the wrong audio file, folks. But yeah, let me make sure I get the coach of the Cardinals. What was your name? Jonathan Gannon. Sorry, it's Jonathan Gannon, not Bill Gannon. Jonathan Gannon's here to say, well, Arizona, but I will say, Mr. Gannon, a playoff appearance is a must for you in 2025 because 8-9's not bad, but team was in first place but couldn't put it together. So either way, Arizona, way to go out. As for the 49ers, you've been hearing this a lot this year.
Boo! You stink!
Mhm. Yeah. So avoiding the Cardinals is a must, and probably 49ers is also a must as well because I think they can turn it around as well. Who knows about Chris McCaffrey, the wide receivers, tight ends, even the players, what they're gonna do. So I mean, have to wait and see.
Well, wait and see for those, yes. But as for some changes on the coaching staff, well, Niners, well, Mr. Nick Sorson and Brian Schneider, defensive coordinator and assistant team coach respectively, they will not be back when they will not be wearing 49er colors until 2025 because as you Mr. Krabs and Benson, take it away, guys.
You're fired! You're fired!
Yeah, clean up this mess right now, or you're fired. Oh wait, they are fired.
Oh yeah. Well, defense didn't get it done for 49ers and their special teams. Oh yeah, especially the kicking game. Yeah, it contributed to their lackluster season. So moving on to the game in SoFi Cal Stadium, meaningless game is LA wrapped up the division due to strength of victory, but they say Seattle. Well, end of the season on a high note, 10 wins, not make the playoffs, but 10 wins is, I say, a good season where I stand.
They're both 10-7. Seattle had nothing to play for. Got it done. I see the hugs, I see the touchdowns, and I see the sportsmanship. So like it.
Yep. So Jake Bobo found the end zone for some in 2024 or 2024 season. Leonard Williams, who was snubbed for the Pro Bowl, well, he had two more sacks in the year with 12 and a half. And Geno Smith, while the stats were kind of mediocre, hey, you get cashed in on your incentives because you won 10 plus games, 4,000 yards passing, and 20 plus touchdown passes. So there you have that. So Seattle,
Hooray! Hip, hip. Wow! Hip, hip. Hooray!
as for the Rams, you're going to host a playoff game. All your starters are healthy. Nothing else that needs to be said. So moving on to the game of the week or the year, or at least on paper on the year, I will just say this: it did not live up to expectations.
Biggest letdown of the season for sure. If I if I had to put a nominee of biggest letdown game of the year or for the season rather, and I was so excited for this game. I was ready. I had my drink in hand. I had my TV turned on, and all of a sudden, what was that? Like, what? What was I watching the same game?
Well, Viking fans would agree with that sentiment. Because, hey, Minnesota, where were you guys?
Boo! You stink!
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Was Sam Darnold? Uh, let's see. I have a little note here. Seeing ghosts. Hmm, that's not good.
And the reason they reached the red zone three times. It came away, and Mike Gold pointed out on the Westwood One broadcast, they at one point had just 3 points to show for it and 3 trips inside the 20-yard line. 3 points, 3 trips inside the red zone.
I mean, no comment.
No comment. I say you got to get in the end zone in 3 trips. You can't come away with just one field goal. You're the Vikings.
Yeah, like I said, no comment.
Yeah, and even when this Detroit defense was decimated by injuries, but I'll say this: when they saved their best for last, and when the division title and a first run bye on the line, Detroit's defense showed up. So give them a round of applause for that.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So, oh man, what
Yep.
a what a what a ending to this first half of the show, right?
Yep. And then before we end this first half, Jameer Gibbs, he was the star of the show in Detroit on Sunday night. 4 total touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 1 through the air, 70 total yards. So and the Lions won 31-9. And for first time ever, they won back-to-back division titles and get a first run bye, which deserved a well deserved. There we go.
Hooray! Hip, hip. Wow! Hip, hip. Hooray!
And yep, there's that first place ribbon, Detroit. You've earned it. And we said you would be winners of the NFC North, and sure enough, that came to fruition. And we haven't said all that. Here are the playoff standings for the NFC. Lions week off. Eagles and Bucks and Rams winners their divisions. Wild cards: Minnesota, Washington, Green Bay, and United teams. Like I said before, with the AFC, you'll be doing it from the comfort from your couches, beds, and I don't know wherever else you're gonna be when the playoffs start tomorrow, but you'll be watching from home nonetheless. And as for here are the matchups. Commanders go to Tampa Bay. Green Bay goes to Philadelphia. and Minnesota goes to LA, and so I'm in line to get the week off. So having said all that, the playoffs are here. I'm excited. Teams excited. The 12 teams participating are excited. The NFL fans are excited. And in our next segment, which is going to be shorter than the one that we had just now, we're going to see who's going to win Wild Card Weekend and going to be playing for that lucrative spot in New Orleans in the feeds from today. So that's what's coming up, folks. Well, folks, we have arrived. It's the playoffs. Win or go home. Trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Who's going to be playing for that Lombardi Trophy in the Big Easy on the second Sunday of February? Well, we have these 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 teams right here who are saying we want to punch our ticket to New Orleans and along with these 2 teams week off. So, having said all that, let's get up. Let's move on to the wild card round. Get your cards out, poker chips out, put your bets in. See, step right up, folks, because it's going to be a good one on paper, at least. So, having said all that, start with the first game: Chargers at Texans. What do you have, Keenan?
Oh man, this is going to be a great start because we don't know. I mean, if you look at the betting odds real fast, we have a minus 155 for LA and the Chargers, Texans at plus 135. If I had to say right now, for right now as of this moment, for a pick, I would have to go with Chargers winning this game 27-21 over Houston.
Okay. As for me, I say the Chargers will finally win their first playoff game since 2018, which came against Maul Jim's brother John. So Chargers will win it 27-24.
All right, I like that. And I read out the betting odds already, and I'm I'm ready to get to the next one. I'm excited for a good start to the playoffs here. For sure.
Oh, yep. So moving on, Ravens Steelers to meet for the third time this year, second time in 3 weeks in Baltimore. Last time they did, the Ravens won going away, but the Steelers did win the first matchup. So which one's going to be? Will it be Baltimore or Pittsburgh?
I have to go with Baltimore right now because they got Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson putting up tremendous numbers, and Andrews, they're for the part of their offense. So if I had to pick a score for Baltimore, 24-17.
24-17. Okay. Well, I'm gonna pick Ravens as well because in case I have him as a backup plan in case Bills. Well, all this team that had getting Super Bowl doesn't come through. But anyway, they win it by 10, 27-17. And but you know what? They've met in the playoffs. What is this now? 4 times beforehand, with Pittsburgh winning 2 of the 3 previous matchups.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and then for the betting odds, minus 600 if you're Baltimore, and plus 400 if you're Pittsburgh. So there are your betting odds. So um, pretty close, pretty solid scores here. Um, Steelers would put up a good fight, but I think it's going to lean towards Baltimore.
Yep, and also first time they met in the playoffs will take place at M&T Bank Stadium. All the previous ones take place in Pittsburgh. So having said all that, we're going with the home team Ravens. So moving on to the last AFC playoff matchup, Denver at Buffalo. I don't know. I got Bills getting to Super Bowl, so give me the Bills 31-17. But I will say this, Bills, the last time you played these guys on this very same field, it was on Monday night, and they lost to the Russell Wilson led Broncos on the last second field goal, which cost Ken Dorsey his job. Oh, man, Ken Dorsey can't seem to keep a job the last 2 seasons.
Good point. Um, Buffalo looks really strong right now. If I had to make a score, I would have to say uh 28, 28 to 14.
8-14, all right. And
The betting odds are like this. So the Bills are minus 450, Broncos plus 340. So there are your betting odds. And I mean, I'm ready to go to my television, watch all these games the best I can, and keep up with it. And I'm I'm really looking forward to this.
yep, and Sean McDermott said it's a new season. Yep, regular season doesn't matter. And also Bills. I know you're trying to exercise some demons, and also they're the first team that have less than 15 turnovers and give less than 15 sacks to make the playoffs. Just throw that in. Dang it.
Throw that in there, but like we mentioned in the first half, Broncos made the playoffs for the first time since their Super Bowl run.
Mhm. And Bills, do not sleep on this team because keep in mind, last time they played you guys, they walked up to be a little victorious. But I don't think it's going to happen this time. But anyway, moving on to the NFC wildcard games. And we rematch of the Week 1 thriller in Sao Paulo, Brazil between Packers and the Eagles.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing if it's not the 49ers making it, I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles uh being part of that party for the Super Bowl. So if I had to choose, rather than 49ers making it, because 49ers are not going to be part of the conversation, I would have to go with Eagles to be part of that conversation as well. So Eagles, you will have 27, and the Packers will keep this close. 21 on the board, please.
All right. Well, I said the Eagles are going to win as well. It's going to be should be a fun, definitely going to be a fun one at Lincoln Financial Field. So Eagles 29, Packers 22, and also this is the fourth time they met in the playoffs with Eagles win having a 2-1 advantage over them, and also Eagles. You got Saquon Barkley. You got a big day in his first game as an Eagle with over 100 total yards of offense, but he Packers, you got service of Christian Watson, but I was upset the big day from Josh Jacobs and Jalen Reed, who had over 100 yards in that matchup and 2 touchdowns, receiving and a rushing score as well.
Mhm. So that's all good for sure. So the Eagles have a minus 225, Packers plus 190. Uh, Seems self-explanatory to me.
I would agree. So it should be a fun one at Lincoln Financial Field. So moving on to the game at the Carolina Sombrero between the Commanders and the Buccaneers, another rematch from Week 1 as well. How about that?
Yeah. So, and these are going to be so much fun to watch. All these that we're going to go over in this part of the show. But if I had to choose, I would have to keep riding with Washington. They got the hot hand. 12-5, so Washington wins it. It's gonna be another close one. Give me 31 to 24.
Okay. Okay. Boy. Hmm. It's gonna be tough. Man. The Buccaneers, South champions, Commanders, up and coming team, or surprising rather. Hopefully they can ride this momentum. So, you know what? I'll say the Commanders will win their first playoff game since 2005.
Yep. So we're dating back to at least 20 years because we're in the year 2025.
Yeah, and guess where their last playoff win? Guess where it took place?
Ooh, I would love to take a guess on this. Is it a team that I'm familiar with?
Yes, you are. Yes,
Am
it is.
I okay? Am I a fan of this team?
Nope, but they play in the same division.
Was it the Falcons?
Nope.
Okay. Was it the Cowboys?
Nope. Like I said, they play in the same division as the team you root for.
Okay, oh, NFC South.
Hmm.
The Saints.
No, oh, not you. No, no, no. You got it. I'll give you a hint.
Wait,
It's got it.
wait. It's the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, no, 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 no. You're getting a little. The answer.
Okay, one more guess. Whoa,
You
wait
got.
a minute. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, ain't it?
Yep. It was in Tampa.
Wow. Well, 20 years later. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and funny enough, the 20 this version of the Bucks and Commanders faced each other in the regular season, like they did in 2005, and things turn out they would meet again in the playoffs, wild card weekend, and then the Commanders win the rematch. You know how long ago that was? Teen Titans was still on the air, albeit for 9 more days. That's how long ago that was.
The regular Teen Titans, for people, not the
Yeah,
not the crappy remake we have now. So,
yeah. Teen Titans was still on the air, and Naruto was starting to gain momentum on American television.
yeah, Avatar was slowly coming into development as well. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Nickelodeon Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is
Yeah,
also a great show as well. Highly recommend. For all ages. I just finished watching it. I think last year. So great show. I remember watching it on episodes here and there on the Nickelodeon channel. So there you have it.
yeah. Avatar definitely one of the better shows, one of the best shows come out in that decade, and Teen Titans and Naruto. So yeah, that's how long ago it's been since the last time Washington's won a playoff game, and they did it with their offense only had 120 yards of net offense that day too. Talk about a crazy stat.
Yeah, that most definitely. So boy, oh boy, I am ready for the next one. And
Oh,
betting odds, right?
yep.
Yep. Thank you for saving me. Buccaneers minus 125 and the Commanders plus 150. So there you go. There are your betting odds. Now I'm ready for another another slide that's in purple. Or all of these are in purple, but I'm ready for a purple face team that's wearing a purple jersey.
Yep, and before we do that, Commanders, Buccaneers, fourth time they met in the playoffs, most recent coming in 2020. So having settled that, we're on the Bucks and their playoff winless drought. So having settled that, yep, purple rain. Well, for the Vikings, but hopefully it'll be when it's purple rain, we'll celebrate in victorious fashion. Unlike the last time they did visit LA, which amazingly enough, they it's crazy to think they've lost 3 games on the year, 2 to the Lions, 1 to the Rams, and their first loss came against the Lions, and then actually they played the I can't say the words. They played the Rams in LA or on the road in this case. So I couldn't had to get that out.
Mhm. No worries. So let me just read these betting odds before I forget. So plus 105 for the Rams and the Vikings minus 125. It gets harder and harder to predict these scores, man. But if I had to choose, Vikings should win this. Um, I don't. 24 to 21.
Okay. We'll say they will have revenge in their minds because the last time they played each other, it came down to a controversial face mask that was not called. Hmm. As for man, who am I gonna pick? I mean, this is like I said, on paper a great game because we got Cooper Cup, Puka Nakua, Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold playing his first playoff game, I might add. Matthew Stafford, Jared Verse, playing it in his first playoff game. He made Pro Bowl this year. Andrew Van Geekel, Brian Flores. Oh man, I'm expecting a good game here, but I'm just gonna roll with the Ram. I'm gonna say the Rams. I think they got it, but Vikings will keep it close. Rams 20, Vikings 24. And also keep in mind, folks, this game will not take place at SoFi Stadium. It will take place at State Farm Stadium due to the wildfires in the LA area. So our thoughts and prayers out to those folks, as it's a very, very sad sight, and a lot of people without homes, without power, and so we just hope to wish them the best and see recovery.
Most definitely, for sure. My thoughts and prayers to go out to everyone out in the California state. Um, yeah, seeing those devastating fires and their houses being burned down by the minute. Like you don't know when it's going to take place. And I mean, fires happen pretty much every day, but it happens a lot out in the out west, out in the California west side, and yeah, it's tough to see. My thoughts and prayers go out to them.
Definitely. And so, yeah, either way, it's going to be a good one. State Farm Stadium between Minnesota and LA. And State's president up. Oops. Stop saying that. Yeah. So, should be exciting wild card weekend. It's going to, the games, I hope they live up to the hype. And, it's the playoffs. It's do or die. Winner moves on. Loser, we'll have to say what could have been. So anyway, I'm excited, looking forward to this first round of the playoffs. As are you, Keenan. So any thoughts before we sign off?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Uh, man, it's been really fun to get to this point of figuring out who's gonna win every single week in the regular season. Now we get to the meat and potatoes of the meat and potatoes of the playoffs scenarios, and I was so looking forward to this. And yeah, as you can see, my excitement is through the roof right now. We finally made it to the spot, and yeah, I'm much excited, and you are excited. I hope everyone watching is excited, and that's all I got. Yep. So anyway, folks, that includes our wild card NFL playoff prediction. So if you like what you see, feel free to give us a like, subscribe down below, follow us on Instagram at Doubleheader97, or Spotify at Doubleheader Podcast, and follow our Wix websites for more information down below. And see you guys next week for the divisional playoff round. And like we said always, my name is Keenan Costain. He is Amir Daniels, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye, folks. Have a good one.
Definitely. It's you on the flip side.